In this class, let's add some effects to the transition. This is the animation we have for now. I just want to add some wave effect on this transition mask. Remember, we have this transition mask as the shape of the adjustment layer. So we need to click on this transition mask to add a turbulence displace effect. Go to Effects and Presets, search for turbulence displace, double click. And now you can see we already got this kind of wavy effect to this transition mask. Let's adjust some of the settings here. So for the amount, I want to pull it up a little bit, maybe 60. And then the size, I want to shrink it down. As I'm shrinking the size, you can see the wave effect is actually moving. I want to animate this size effect. Like I want to maybe add a keyframe here, put it to 40. And then when it comes in, before it shoots out around here, I'm going to change it to 60. So the size of this transition mask is going to animate from 40 to 60 while it's traveling to the right, and then something like this. Let's preview and see what it looks like. I think it's moving a bit too fast. Maybe I want to change it back to 40 for the amount. Yeah, that looks good. That's what I need. The latter part, I feel like the animation is kind of too quick. I want to pull this keyframe out a little bit. Something like this. So I'm adjusting the X position of the main dot to make it travel slower. So the transition is not that dramatic. This is the animation effect I get. Okay, that looks good for me. And then next thing, we need to add some lines. I can go to the pen tool. From the center of the dot, click on it and then click the outside to draw a line. We can turn off the fill, hold down Option key, and then click on the fill 1, 2, 3 times. And then make sure the stroke is thicker. I change it to 15 pixels. Now the stroke is thicker. We have one line. And then I'm going to duplicate this one, Command D. For the second line, still I want it to come from the center of the circle, but for this one, with the pen tool selected, I can select this dot and then I can drag it down to make sure it's going downward. And now all I need to do is to parent these two lines to the dot so that they're traveling with the dot, something like this. But now it doesn't have a wavy effect, so we need to add some wavy effect to it. Let's go to Effects and Presets. Let's add a wave warp. Drag this wave warp to the first line. And then you can see, if I don't change anything, this line is just going to wave all the way like this, which is not what we want. We need to adjust the setting to make it bigger. And then we're going to keep the sine width and then change the height to 40. Try to change the width to maybe 200. And let's see what is going on. Right now, the waving is going from left to right. In order to reverse the direction, we need to put this to -90. So that it's feeling like it's going from right to left. And this is kind of the effect we want to have. Copy this wave warp and then go to the second line, paste it. This is a way warp we get, but I don't want it to be too symmetrical. So maybe go to the second line. I want to change the height maybe a little bit more or less, and then change the width a little bit more. Just give it some variation. I don't want the two lines to be exactly symmetrical. And now you can see the line is on top of the dots, so we need to move these two layers underneath the dots. This is the effect we get. That's good. So the next thing I want to do is to add some glow effect to the line, the wavy line. Let's search glow in the effects and presets, and then make sure we have the wavy line selected. Double click on the stylized glow. Let's change the radius to maybe 30. And you can see there's this slightly glow effect around this wavy line, which is nice. It's adding some more character to it. Let's copy this glow, put it on the second one as well. Yep, that's good. Now we got the glow line over there. And that's gonna be our transition. Another thing is, as the dot is traveling out of screen, I also want the lines to move out as well. Right now, the wavy line is just staying there in the screen, which is not what we want. So I need to manually change the position as it's going out. Maybe around this timestamp here. Double click, select the two layers and hit P on the keyboard, set a keyframe, and then go forward as it stops. I want to move this one down and then move this one up so that they're outside the screen like this. So if I play the animation, this is what we get. Yep, nice. Another thing we need to pay attention to before we move forward is that, remember when we were animating the scale change of the portfolio text, we did it around 2 seconds, but I actually want the transition to happen before the scale changes. Meaning when the transition happens, it's almost like the transition bring the text up so that it's affecting the text to make it move. All I need to do right now is to adjust the timing of the scale over here. As the transition comes in, I need to find the portfolio text, select all three, hit U on the keyboard. I need to change these keyframes, move them forward a little bit so that they're still staying at the same size, but then when the transition comes out, I want them to become bigger, like this. Yeah, that looks nice to me. See? The transition is affecting the size of the text. Let's play from the start. Yeah, that's exactly what I need. Command S for save. That's it for the transition of the animation. In the next video, I'm going to talk about how to animate the slot machine.